Welcome to Behind the Project with me, Shanta Honeycutt, where I am in conversation with creatives and professionals across different mediums or sectors about their lessons and discoveries, along with a fun, unrelated bonus question. In this episode, I'm talking with Liz Rhaney, who is an installation and experiential artist, with the themes of her work that include the intersection of science and art and connecting with cultural memory. Let's hear from Liz. I am very excited to talk to you again, Liz. Why don't you, I like to allow people to just introduce themselves. So just tell everybody who you are.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Liz Rhaney. I am a creator that works in a lot of different mediums, but really everything I do comes back to being some type of installation. Sometimes that involves sound and music. Sometimes that involves video and light. And sometimes that involves teaching. I consider teaching to be a long form installation that you really have to be consistent about. And that's also become a big part of my creative practice. So yeah, and I live right now in Bath, Maine, and I've been here for a few years. I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. So most of my cultural background is being of African descent from the Southeast coast, and part of that descendant of those Gullah and Geechee peoples. And my pronouns are she or they.
Thank you. I think you covered all the bases with this. So we're just going to jump into it. Let's start with, tell me about a project that you it could still be ongoing, or that you were involved with, or that you led, and what was the project and what was the wow moment, maybe something that you didn't expect, etc., from that project?
Definitely my most recent project, which is both ongoing and I would say also is like consuming my life right now, is BLK Plutoh. So I started that a year ago, last January. I started it. The goal was to, here in Portland, Space has a Sonic Visions grant for any project that is sonic, anything that involves sound. So the idea for the project came through trying to get a grant for that. And the thesis, the foundation, really just kind of continued the conversations we were already having about Afrofuturism. The question was, what is Black culture on Pluto? Just what does that look like? What would that be? What would that sound like? What would we be doing? And so I spent a year really wrestling with that question in terms of sound. I wrestled with it in terms of visuals. A video component was put into it. I had to do a lot of referencing, so a lot of back research and a lot of realizing who are those Black and brown artists that came before me that were already having these questions. And so the version that was performed was half live performance, half video. And I also was able to get some collaborators with it. So I brought in some friends. One is a dancer, one is a poet. So completely different mediums to also wrestle with the question. Right before the performance, I realized, I was like, oh, this is going to have to be in parts. One of the surprising things with that is that I didn't realize that I was in tune with a bigger cultural happening right now. So in recent weeks, like I'm reading about one artist is making what he calls Afro Plutoh. It's like Afro beats, but kind of based in or surrounded in this like futurist idea. One of the other rappers made an album about, I think also Plutoh. Plutoh is on the brain. Collectively, there are Black folk that are in the US and also outside the US. How are Black people making this connection with specifically the planet that is no longer a planet, or the edge of our solar system? So I'm interested in looking at that. And the second thing that was surprising was how willing other people were to go on this wild journey with me. I mean, I just threw out the question and there was no neat and tidy end. And the project not only was interesting from other Black people and Black people in the diaspora, but it was also people of different cultures got into it. So that was really exciting. I didn't expect that kind of openness and willingness and curiosity. And that gave me a lot of hope, at least with the communities that I'm fortunate to be in.
And so, is there anything you would do differently? Because I heard you talking a little bit about, oh, wow, I'm discovering this is going to have to be in pieces. Is there anything that pops out to you that you would do differently, approach differently? It sounds like you're still very much engaged with this as an ongoing proposition. How would you approach it differently if you had to go back and restart thinking about it?
For one, I think I would have put less pressure on myself and realized from the get-go it's going to be a part. A lot of the stress in the beginning was planning this one-off thing. And as soon as I realized to break it into parts, I was like, oh, well, I could have taken some deep breaths ahead of time. And I think the other thing I would do differently is really lean into more of what's happening right now. The current movement that is happening, as I said earlier, with Black people in futurism and specifically Black people in Plutoh, because I looked at Octavia Butler, artists that were before my time, and I didn't realize that there is something very prescient about that topic right now. And that's what I would have looked into and would have brought more into that initial performance. And the good thing is, by breaking it up, I think I can just continue to explore it again in parts to look at it fully.
It's always when we think, oh, wow, right? It comes out of those surprises, which makes it so organic. And maddening.
Right.
At the same time.
I literally looked at my phone and I was like, are you serious? What? How did I miss this? Why is this not on the news?
So, last random question. If you had to, and actually it's so funny because it's kind of fitting with, I didn't expect that you were going to be talking about this. It's on brand, as people would say. If you had to create a planet just from scratch, the organisms, the atmosphere, the abilities, if there are any, the food, what is the whole culture? What would that planet look like?
Oh my. Ooh, if I had to create a planet, what would it look like? I love this question so much. I'll tell you what, the first thing is Elon Musk would not get his hands on it. I'll tell you that. My first goal is to be as far away from Elon Musk as possible. And I say that because, and I talked about this in Black Plutoh, we understand how damaging colonialism is. We understand that the generational damage that it does. And when I hear him use words like colonize Mars, that's a red flag for me. So it would be very far from him. Probably not in this solar system. You know, if I got to create a planet, I think I would give us the ability to go so much further in our universe than we have. The universe is so big and where we can travel is so tiny. So one of the things I think I would do would be to give us that ability to go solar systems away. And then I would give us the ability to adapt to whatever that environment is. Because one of the things that I feel strongly about is that as a group of people, no matter where we are, we have been so amazing at adapting. Everything adapts. Our hair adapts. Our skin adapts. our culture adapts. Like even journeys that we weren't supposed to survive, we survived them, and then we started thriving in the other place. So I think more so than building something from scratch, I would give us the ability to adapt and just be in awe of, how would our hair evolve in zero gravity? What kind of hairstyles would we make if we had, I mean, look at what we can do on Earth for real. Like, 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 look at what we already doing, like, imagine what we could do in where we literally have no limits, right? That's what I would do. I would give us those two abilities and just be in awe of what we're able to do with that.
This is awesome. And is there anything else you want to add?
This project has really been fun because it really has been ongoing, and BLK Plutoh has even turned into my DJ name. So it's just all aspects of my life. This project is just so I'm excited. I'm just excited to see just how it evolves, how it affects my life more.
Thank you so much. It's always a blast talking to you, Liz. Thank you.
My God, these are great. Thank you. That's such a great question.
Thank you for joining us, and you can learn more about Liz Rhaney and her practice by visiting the links provided in the show notes. And again, we encourage you to think about the lessons and stories of all of your projects. What's the story behind your project?